necessarily corroborated. There's a lot of crazy shit in the tip hotline testimony that is like completely unvetted, and you can't really tell if it's real or not. So I don't really want to like cite that as the craziest. The Bill Gates one is fucking hilarious, but I don't know, because to me, things that are crazy, it's like different things are crazy to me. I already know about all the abuse. I know about what they're doing to children. I know about what they're doing with genetic experiments. So to me, I just keep coming back to the Goyam stuff, dude.
Yeah.
The craziest thing to me is not just how Jeffrey Epstein thought about non-Jews, because we already had some indications of that, but how many of these people in his network that you wouldn't have like necessarily jumped to that conclusion are emailing him in those exact same terms and about those exact same concepts. That is wild how rampant the Jewish supremacy was, and how obviously tied to their treatment of these minor victims and John's and everybody else, that mindset was. That's mind-blowing to me.
Yeah. The Elon Musk thing was crazy. I saw it through the emails too, just how many times like Elon Musk was saying, hey, I'm in the area.
Was crazy, dude.
Elon Musk workforce saying like, hey, I don't want a peaceful thing. I want to go to the craziest party.
Fucking rage.
He was ready to wild
Which
out.
I'm not surprised that that's what he wanted to do, knowing him. Like, bro is fucking just a party animal. But it got even funnier when he goes on Twitter and is like the Epstein files will vindicate me. I didn't even do anything. Like, I'm fine. Like, check it out. And it's like, bro, we can read. Like, we have eyes, bro. Donald Trump is doing the same thing, where Trump is coming out like just yesterday or something. He gave a speech where he's like, see, the files revealed that like the Michael Wolff guy was trying to do a hit piece on me with Jeffrey Epstein. I'm innocent. See, they proved I'm innocent. It's all Democrats. And it's like, bitch, we can read. Like, your entire entourage, like from your donors to your like Marco Rubio's in there, like everyone all around him is in there. Steve Bannon, like, okay, dude, one of the crazy ones that is like, it's not fully fleshed out yet, but it's fucking insane if it, depending on how far it goes, is the connection to the founding of Poll on 4chan, and potentially linkages to sort of the founding of the Q movement. Have you seen that stuff yet?
Yes, and how they investigate
that shit's crazy.
Are we talking about the prison guard who they found his bank account? They tracked his bank account through the 4chan posts? Or so this
no. I mean, that's sort of adjacent to it, but no, it's that Jeffrey Epstein was having meetings with the guy that founded Poll, the politics, like the politics threads, and then that they were talking about like sort of these dissident right ideologies, and then he's super good friends with Bannon, and there's just a lot of like vectors that are circling around like, wait a minute, that movement gave rise to this like big thing about how like the Democrats and Hillary Clinton are running a child sex trafficking ring and talking about pizza all the time, which is like, yeah, a lot of them were up to some sketchy fucking shit, and a lot of them are in these files, but that's not who it was. It was fucking Jewish. It was Jewish billionaires funding a Israeli spy ring that was doing this, and they were doing it with rights and lefts. So it was like happening to everybody. But that certainly seemed to have corralled it. Like, we don't know for sure how involved in founding that they were, but it's pretty suspicious. And then they corral all that interest into this like Trump MAGA movement, and then they get Trump in, and Trump is like top fucking goy. It's just, if that's really what happened, it's one of the most fucked up and like impressive intelligence operations the world's ever known.
Right.
And it sucks to be the butt of that fucking joke, to be fair.
And like, no matter how much Trump tries to blame it on the radical left, or Matt Walsh says that, oh, Biden covered it up. In the emails, again, they cited a specific quote where Trump said that Epstein was a terrific guy. Allegedly, I don't want to misquote it, but Epstein was a terrific guy, and he loves beautiful girls, some of them very young. It's like, what else? How is this a setup again? But this is a direct quote from you, Trump.
They had an extensive relationship. They did a ton of weird pageantry shit. It's suspicious all the way through. And regardless, Trump's DOJ is the ones actively covering this up, lying to the American people, saying that there's no one to prosecute, there's no evidence that he trafficked anyone. Fucking Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, all of them should be in prison right now because they all said there's no evidence of anything, no one to prosecute, case closed. Not only that, they're literally breaking the law right now by they're redacting a bunch of fucking John's names, a bunch of the perpetrators' names. They're redacting random words and random names, and they're actually failing to redact victim names and a whole bunch of victims' private information, their names, their addresses, in some cases like their phone numbers and other stuff, was all just put out there unredacted. So it's like just for that alone, Trump and his whole administration is guilty. Not to mention that they still have like millions of files they haven't released. Not to mention that they drug their heels. It's just like, no, fuck you, dude. Even if Trump never touched a single hair on an innocent person's head, he's still involved in a cover-up, and he's still complicit in not going after these people because there's more than enough evidence to put a fuckload of these people in jail or worse. They just are obviously not prosecuting. They're obviously not investigating.
I saw that Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton have to testify in court coming up. Did you see this? What's that about?
Yeah, I don't know a lot about it yet, but I assume it's just a fucking sideshow. I assume that they're going to scapegoat Bill and that they've already arranged amongst the club members who's going to take the fall and what's going to happen, and it's going to be a big embarrassment thing. And Bill, you get the fucking short end of the stick, and it probably is some fucking inside thing between them. They've all, they're all buddies behind the scenes, and I'm sure they're going to try to appease us in some small way, and I'm not appeased. No, not appeased one bit.
You're going on Tucker Carlson when?
I didn't know that people know that I'm going on Tucker Carlson. About what?
It was just
about Epstein.
I saw.
Oh, did he just tweet it?
Yeah, he did.
Cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, so I'm actually recording with him tonight. I don't know the whole scope of it. We're going to talk about Epstein and the network and stuff. And so we're going to record it later tonight because he's over on the other side of the world right now. So time zones are a little fucked up.
Okay, yes. Where is he? He's in Qatar right now.
It's somewhere like that. He's somewhere in the Middle East. I don't know exactly where.
Yeah, he's always.
He's getting his Qatar bucks. Yeah. That's what he's doing.
What do they call him?
He's earning that paycheck.
Tucker Carlson. Right.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff.
You know how it is.
I think he's doing mostly good things, and.
Yeah, it was really interesting to meet him around the Vegas stuff, and like I really like him. He's a really nice guy. Everyone obviously should have their own opinion. Everyone should judge media figures, especially someone with so deep of a history as Tucker. You should, judge very carefully and think very critically about what he puts out. But everything he's putting out right now is like he's one of the strongest voices for American values, for Christian values. Whoa, calm down, Cheech. My dog's like knocking over my camera in here. So yeah, I'm stoked to talk to him about it because he's been one of the biggest voices that was willing to say that it was Israel. It'll be a good conversation.
Yeah, I was confused though because he did show up recently in the Oval Office at this meeting with Trump where he was talking about the repercussions of the Venezuela invasion. I was like, well, he's very critical about this, but he's still plugged up. What is that about?
I don't know, obviously, but I would assume, trying to put myself in his shoes a little bit, and I'm sure you can kind of relate to this a little bit too, is in this industry, like, you have to make choices about how you amass your power and how you play your power, and access is a lot of power in this industry, but it's also a huge weakness, right? Access journalism is like one of the greatest downfalls of people that could be good independent journalists because they want to keep their access to someone. They won't criticize them. This is how most of like the right wing is controlled right now because they're just too pussy to criticize Trump or to criticize anything about it. But Tucker comes with all this like loaded power and connections from his past life, from his time at Fox News, from all of his like connections. And so if I were in his shoes, I would still be trying my best to play that power and to, do what I can to influence JD Vance and to influence Trump. And I wouldn't throw that ability away for nothing because if like who else is going to walk into the fucking White House and tell Trump what's really going on? Like, I can't think of anyone else, except for maybe like there's a couple of people in the administration that we haven't seen publicly fucking up, but I don't know if that means they're doing anything right. It just means that like I haven't seen Tulsi Gabbard do a single fucking thing the entire time that she's been in, or like Joe Kent, haven't seen him do a single thing the entire time. So maybe they're just like laying low and trying to like dodge bullets. But like in terms of the media, like Charlie Kirk went in to his credit, Charlie Kirk went in there and was like, Trump, don't fucking attack Iran. Charlie's dead. You know, we can argue about who killed him. So like as Tucker, I totally understand that, you know, even though Trump's fucking up and even though Trump's involved in this cover up, you know, kudos to him for still going in there and trying to like exercise a little bit of like sanity at him. Because honestly, I think that Trump's information pipeline is completely controlled. I don't think that Trump has any fucking clue what's going on in the world. The dude's like 80 something years old. His entire schedule is managed. Everything about his life is managed. His phone is managed. Like I presume that every single piece of media that passes through that man's face is curated and put there intentionally to control his mindset about the world. So, and I'm sure that Tucker understands that even better than I would. So I'm just glad that someone is going in there to fucking hopefully tell him what's going on in the real world.
Two quick more questions and I guess go. Do you like Thomas Massie and or James Fishback?
I like Thomas Massie a lot. I got to have lunch with him one time in DC. Yeah, briefly. It was at the Epstein victims thing that he and Ro Khanna put together. And I mean, obviously, like, it's not like you become best buds or get to know someone really in that kind of a brief time span. But obviously, like, he's like the only person actually standing up. Him and Ro Khanna spearheaded this thing. They, you know, stepped across the aisle to do it, bipartisan effort. And it's just like, honestly, I couldn't give a fuck what else he votes on. I don't care what his other policies are. Like, to me, there is no other issue. Right now, there is no other policy. There's no other issue. I'm a single issue voter. And I'm not even going to vote because fuck that, obviously. Because why would we vote for a bunch of pedophiles? And why would we vote in a system when obviously our vote doesn't count and obviously our nation is ruled by another nation, by blackmail, subversion, bribery, etc. So, like, thank God for Thomas Massie and for Ro Khanna and for Marjorie Taylor Greene before them, who, you know, stepped down. No shade to her for doing that. As for James Fishback, he's saying all these right things, but so did Trump before we elected him. So did Trump's coalition. So did RFK Jr. So I like to think that I have gained a little bit of wisdom from the way I was fooled by this whole MAGA Maha coalition thing this time. I like to think that I gained a little bit of wisdom to just wait and see actions. I love that Fishback is saying all this shit publicly, and I love that that's going to inspire other young politicians to realize that now is the time to say that shit. And if you actually say that shit and you follow through on it, you'll get voted. You'll get the American people behind you. That'll save America. We need more. We need 100 more James Fishbacks, and we need them to actually follow through on those promises. But I'm not going to vote for him. I don't live in Florida. Even if I did, I wouldn't vote for him, obviously, because I want to see action before I believe all the good work. We've been fooled.
So far, I like everything you said, but once again, you can never trust the politician fully. But I think he's doing the right thing so far. Last one. I want to ask you about Russia. What is so that's now the mainstream media narrative, is that Epstein worked for Russia. I've seen Piers Morgan say this. I'm seeing it from, I think it was Telegraph who posted that. You're seeing this is the push, this is the cover-up. What is the evidence there?
It's similar to the evidence that he worked for British intelligence or that he worked for American intelligence. You know, they had a lot of contacts with all sorts of, you know, organized crime figures, intelligence figures in all of these different nations. That's the whole point of what they were doing, is they were infiltrating every nation and trying to get blackmail on all these people and running all these complex financial schemes. And Russia is no exception. So there is evidence that they had friends in Russia and that they had influence in Russia. You need only look at how they talk about non-Jews to realize that they don't give a fuck what country they're talking to. If you're not Jewish, you're less than Jewish to them. And so they don't, like, you know, is Russia a Jewish nation? No. So obviously they don't work for Russia. That's plain as day. But the reason I think why the PSYOP is sort of using Russia as a scapegoat is the same reason why they've used Russia as a scapegoat over and over and over. Partially because they've already built Russia up as this evil, bad boogeyman. But I think that it's so easy to do because Russia is really foreign to America. It's this foreign nation that like is foreign in its ways, foreign language, foreign customs, and just seems very opaque and sketchy. And there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of organized crime, a lot of corruption, a lot of crazy history and dark, you know, conflicting history between us and them. And so it just has all the right ingredients for Americans to not understand a single fucking thing about Russia. And so then when, you know, he's got these contacts like in Russian organized crime and stuff like that, like Semyon Mogilovich, who's actually more aligned with Israel and Zionists in a lot of ways than with the actual Russian regime because he's a fucking organized criminal. that's doing sketchy shit, it's easy to fool Americans because it's just so foreign, and it's like, ooh, look, the foreign boogeyman. But it's retarded. It's blatantly transparent. Whoever's saying that should be immediately turned off and never trusted again, because anyone in journalism, there is no excuse. There's every excuse in the world for a regular American to be fooled by this kind of propaganda. It's extremely advanced. But for a fucking journalist, there is no excuse to be that dumb, because you're not that dumb. People that are saying that don't actually believe it. They're just either burying their head in the sand, like Matt Walsh, because he just doesn't want to lose his fucking paycheck, or he just likes it in the butt too much, or they're actively subverting America and they're actively covering up a international sex trafficking ring for Jeffrey Epstein. In the case of someone like Ben Shapiro, is my opinion. So, yeah, it's transparent. It's bullshit. Obviously, it doesn't work for Russia because Russia's not Jewish.
Right. If you have time for one more, I'm sure you saw the whole Clubacross Clubtober 7 situation. What was your... dude. It's funny, the timing of this is actually in my favor.
Those fucking pussies, dude. Those damn pussies, dude. You're the only one that actually stood on business and was just like, who cares? Get over it, right? Like, am I wrong? Did anyone stand on business?
Nick also did. Nick didn't fold.
And Nick did? Cool. Well, yeah. I've got beef with Nick for other fucking reasons.
I saw yesterday he said he wants to squash it with you. I hope you guys are able to do that because it is important. Like this.
I mean, to me, it's not personal beef at all. It's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Like, the last show of Nick's that I watched was him saying that he believes that the bullet that killed Charlie Kirk went through Charlie Kirk's soft tissue, hit the back skin of his neck, bounced off the back skin of his neck, and then ricocheted off his skin into the back of his spine. And that was like the expert that he was citing for how he thinks Charlie Kirk died. I'm like, bro, you're fucking retarded, dude. The Charlie Kirk assassination is the most clear example of how American Jews subvert America on behalf of Israel, which is Nick's exact thesis about why it's not just Israel, it's also Jewish billionaires and Jewish donors and Jewish saboteurs. Like, that's Nick's thesis. And the Charlie Kirk thing is that exact thesis. So I'm just, for my beef with Nick is not personal, it's just informational.
I think Charlie Kirk was assassinated by Israel. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that publicly. Actually, I don't believe that. I'm just jokingly saying that. I ironically think Charlie Kirk was assassinated by Israel because you saw that the meetings that he was having, you saw he was turning the tide. He said on PBD that he thought October 7th was an inside job. It was clear that they wanted to invest more money and that he's platforming people like Dave Smith. They wanted to have.
He said it in his own text messages. Yeah. Right. Anyways, not to get into Nick Fuentes too much. Nick can do his thing. Whatever, he can do his thing. No big deal. But the Club Accost was retarded. And it was like, who the fuck cares? It's a fucking song, dog. And I was very disappointed in the Tates for how they acted. That was ridiculous. Yeah. I don't know anything about clavicular. I was just like, fuck yes, Nico. Way to stand on business, dude. Who cares?
It's just a song at the end of the day.
Yeah, right. And I didn't follow all the deep drama on it. It was just like, dude, what is going on, guys? No one cares. Obviously, that was media psyops trying to do culture things to young people's minds and like fuck with all of your guys' platforms and create division and just distract people. It's like, no one fucking cares. We're over it.
Well, I've been paying attention to all this stuff because they keep trying to throw me on the bus. Since then, Tristan Tate yesterday on a podcast with this rich Jew said that he has an Israeli girlfriend. Andrew Tate on PBD said he has tech teams in Israel. So
I saw the Andrew one. Yeah, I didn't see the Tristan one, but that's I mean, to be fair, it's like could have seen that fucking coming from a mile away. Yeah, don't have heroes in this industry, right? If there's one thing that we keep fucking learning is don't look up to any of us. Don't look up to fucking influencers. Don't look up to celebrities. It's all bullshit. And maybe some of us aren't bought off, but even the ones that you feel certain aren't, they can still be a piece of shit later on down the line. They can still be a little bitch later. They can still get scared. They can get bought. They can get blackmailed. Just think for yourself, because your heroes will disappoint you if you put them on a pedestal.
The best thing to follow: no political party, none of this alt-right, communist, none of this stuff. Just follow God. I think you agree.
Bingo, 100%.
Ian Carroll, thank you so much for coming on. Hope we can do this again. I'll try to schedule it. I'll text you privately because there's so much more to cover. The game LT is just it's insane.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, good talk, man. Appreciate it. And shout out to the chat. Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it. Good to see y'all.
Ian Carroll. Hey! Great interview. Once again, Ian Carroll. Love Ian Carroll. Love to be certified. Stand with Ian Carroll. Everything he said, I agree with. Everything he said, I agree with. Boston's peaceful? I thought there were a lot of black people in Boston. Where are the other purple zones? Our website? It's for peace and quiet.
Why not Tri-Side?
Detroit. What about Chicago? Chicago, wow. This is bad. Oh my god! Where's Overwatch? It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Move up here!
Address. Is it Hellcat filter? Bail bonds, violent crime, public. There's no Hellcat filter. Racist. It's all like fucking Hellcat. Zoo culture? What's the zoo culture shit like? Two addresses, right? There's a test subject. Ready for the cage fight. Alabama. Recover your strength. Alabama.
Score 3-0.
Go to Alabama.
Switching sides.
Well, let me just find it. Let's go see. Montgomery. Okay. Peaceful.
Select your hero.
Minneapolis. Is that where that's where George Floyd's from, right? Where's the search again? PQ. DC. Oof. DC's bad, bro. That's not good.
Submission is the key. With each
Oakland, California. Well, we know. But what are the criteria behind it? Oh, let me refresh again. How are they judging the criteria? Change real quick. Check Minneapolis. I'm going. Damn, bro. Minneapolis is in. Where did the search bar go? Stats. Of course, it's 6 million. It's always fucking 6 million, right?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
It's always 6 mil every fucking time, huh? Thank you, Sushi. First time here. Hail me, little dirty Doyle. I'm not hailing you, dude. Looking. Minneapolis. Oh, not bad. There's not a lot of purple. Not bad at all. Jacksonville, that was really. Hey. Okay. Elias. Nemore. That is worse than I imagined. The whole city, bro. The whole entire city. Looks like lean. Of course, they use a purple to do them. Philly the most purple in the fucking country? But what are the criteria? Beauty supply, boost mobile. Wait, why? Why is boost mobile the criteria? Popeyes and Waffle House liquor store. If I get rid of liquor store, we change Waffle House. Popeyes. Wait, what if I make Popeyes the only criteria? Hold on. Wait, Popeyes the Why is the amount of Popeyes instead of wait, why is there literally a correlation between chicken and Popeyes? That's so racist, bro. Come on, bro. Let's go back to alright. Less than Philly. Let's add Waffle House. Wait, no, how many Waffle Houses are in
Hey nigga, who you think you is? Put this shit down for 10. You think us niggas in the hood can afford this shit? We got a voice too, nigga. Atlanta lit.
No EBT for my TCF. New York City. Who are we to judge? Who are we to say? Okay. Okay. And man, all the good times we had. I couldn't find a clip of that we were at CPAC together. Don't say W or stop. Look at the good times. Why is this police wearing a helmet? Yeah. Exactly. So saying then don't judge the Jews. I'm not judging the Jews. I'm saying I'm a Muslim, so these other religions are false. And also I just don't want our country to be, I don't want them to all subvert our country because they think we're goyim. There's a little bit of a difference there. There's a difference between judging and saying, hey, maybe we shouldn't be controlled by a pedophile island. Like, what are you talking? Don't judge the Jews. Shut up, bro. Yeah, I want to watch this video, but also Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro, he made a video called The Grammys versus Ice, but he didn't title it Epstein. And in this section of the video, he touches on Epstein a bit. But other than that, if you go to Ben Shapiro's channel, he has not made one video recently about the files in the title. See, Bitcoin, transgenderism, a funny senator, Democrats. But here, the only time he talked about Epstein. Let's see.
Now, why is any of this really important? Well, I mean, it is important because when you have all the cultural tastemakers who are all pushing the same politics, that is likely to seep out into the broader culture. And sometimes that can go viral and turn into a brain worm that sort of eats the American body politic. You saw this, for example, with the trans issue, pushed by every cultural arbiter in American society. And for a solidly
No, not in American society, Ben. You could see in the Jeffrey Epstein emails, they were bragging that they were going to trans even younger kids.